another crack, because this is a very serious issue. The Afghan scandal rolls on. With the exception of the grooming gangs, it is the greatest scandal in modern British history. Now, there are some things that we can agree on. Number one, this is jointly owned by the Conservative Party and the Labor Party when they continued this ridiculous super injunction for a year after taking office. Number two, that super injunction was not, at least after the first initial period, to save the lives of Afghan citizens. It was political. It was to cover their own backsides, particularly when you heard that these lists of Afghan citizens were on social media and the Taliban had them the whole time. And the numbers are staggering. £7 billion is going to cost this country, with the addition potentially of lawsuits from ungrateful Afghans who have been relocated who are now going to sue the UK government. Where I disagree with politicians across the political spectrum is that I don't think that a single Afghan citizen should be allowed in this country. I think it is terribly unfortunate what happened in Afghanistan. I think it is terribly unfortunate that it is a backwards, barbaric culture. I think it's terribly unfortunate about the culture, that way that they treat women, the way that they think about minority groups. But unfortunately, that's the reality. We should be looking at resettling Afghans who helped us. And by the way, it is a vanishingly small group out of the total of 100,000 that are now coming into this country in a third-party country, which is more culturally compatible. Because the sad reality is that if you let Afghan citizens into this country, they are going to be more likely to commit crime and to put the lives of women and children in danger. That should be the priority of the UK government.
Yeah, strong stuff there, Will, strong stuff. I think disproportionately Afghans do commit more offences. I believe sexual offences, they might be quite high.
They are the top of the list, Alex.
Top of the list, correct.
And can I say, that does not mean that every Afghan person is, going to commit these crimes. Of course. In fact, it would be a small minority that does. But at the same time, when you are the UK government, you have an obligation to look at risk. And as a result of that, you need to say that it is a disproportionate risk to allow people from this culture in.
We got pushed back.
So no Afghan citizen at all in the UK?
Yes.
So not the Afghani ambassador to the UK or his team?
As in, like, the Afghan ambassador for the
he
Taliban?
He would be an Afghani footballer. What about expelled?
Couldn't care less about an Afghani footballer.
So what about expelled? So what about expelled?
In this country.
So what about
expelled?
So what about expelled Afghan allies of ours?
I couldn't care less. Resettle them in a third country where they are safe. Resettle them in a country where they're safe.
You can shout as much as you want, but it doesn't make your point any more valid. So you think that every single Afghani, we invaded Afghanistan, we caused massive trouble in their country, massive unrest. We put most of these people that have come here now under that scheme at risk of dying, their families at risk of dying. You don't think we should take any responsibility for that at all?
I'm going to interrupt because you've said a lot, but that's actually not true, is it? Because
your man thinks that no Afghanis should be allowed in the country, whether they came here under the dispute or not.
Not yet, anyway.
Okay, Renee, go ahead.
But it's already been proven this week that the feeling is that only 1 in 16 of the people on that list were actually allies of our forces, and the rest just wanted to come here because living under the Taliban, let's face it, is pretty dire.
Yeah.
And I get that, but I'm afraid we can't house everyone in the world who lives under a despot governments. So I don't think it's true that we put at risk every single one of the people that are coming here. And Will is right that when people come from a society where violence against women is normalised and accepted, and it is.
Yeah.
It absolutely. Women are not allowed to speak.
I'm not questioning their record on violence against women.
I definitely want to come
Hang
on. Using the internet without a VPN, a virtual private network, is a bit like taking to the road without car insurance. All it takes is one unlucky moment to cost you a lot of cash. This video's sponsor is Private Internet Access. They are the VPN to help keep you safe. Click the link in the description below to find out why over 30 million people have downloaded PIA to protect themselves online. A virtual private network is an app that hides your IP address and helps keep your data private. When you're browsing the internet at home, you give up a large amount of data to businesses, to shops, and indeed to social media giants too. Hackers have the ability to steal your personal data with ease, including sensitive information such as passwords, keystrokes, and even your personal photos. Private internet access helps protect your personal data by encrypting your internet connection to keep your data out of the hands of cyber criminals. And it's not just hackers either to be concerned about. Information can be censored too. When Canada passed their C18 bill, social media giants decided to ban news content on their platforms. But PIA can protect your ability to consume the news and content you love. Private internet access is available for Windows users, Mac OS, Android, Linux, iOS, and you can use one PIA subscription to protect an unlimited amount of devices. And we've got a huge GBNews discount for you too. Click the link in this video's description and you'll get a massive 83% off PIA. That's under £2 a month, the price of a coffee, and you'll get an extra 4 months completely free on top. Also, there's a 30-day money-back guarantee too. Visit piavpn.com/GBNews to start protecting yourself digitally today.
I want to bring Tre in.
And I want to come. First of all, even my Siri actually started responding when you started your talk. Apologies for my Siri. I think that's absolutely disgraceful. Do you know how many British soldiers would have died had we not had those interpreters, advisors? Helmand Province would have killed so many British soldiers. And you're saying they do not deserve any duty of care from us?
No,
like,
no,
really?
I'm not saying that.
I'm saying that's disgraceful.
No, stop. I'm
That's
not saying that.
horrendous.
No, stop. I'm not saying. I'm saying resettle them in a country which
Why?
is more
But those countries
because women and children are at risk in this country.
But they are also at risk, and the leak came from us as well.
Wait,
Do you want to make this country so barbaric that we just don't care about anyone? Just so we don't have to be brown or Muslim faces?
Can I bring a little bit of nuance into the debate here? Because yes, we can go up. There's quite a lot to discuss here. There's obviously two types of programme that we have here. Now, the government took out the super injunction for the second Afghan repatriation. I can't remember the ARAP, Afghanistani. Something program, which I'll get to in a second. I can't remember the name off the top of my head. But basically, there's two programs. The second program has allowed thousands more in. So that, for example, the Telegraph reporting today that one man brought 22 of his family members over. Do you think that's appropriate? Or should we be protecting the people who actually put their lives in?
Absolutely not. Obviously, people are going to abuse the system. People want to get away from the Taliban, and you can't blame them. For a long time, we were there. We brought stability, and then we just literally left overnight, which wasn't really fair to those people over there, right? So absolutely not. You want to look at it. There needs to be nuance. Not every single family member of those key workers are at risk. That's true. People abuse the system, absolutely. But not to say that no one whatsoever who actually helped and supported and saved British soldiers' life shouldn't come over in a war that we started.
You're not listening to me. I'm not saying we don't have a duty to those people. I'm saying we should repatriate them in a country which is more culturally compatible with their values. So it is not the women and children of this country.
So they're coming and raping
I have a question.
en masse.
They are 20 times more likely than UK people to rape women. That is the statistics. That's the reality, Tre. You may not like it. That's the reality.
Okay. I have a question about your no Afghan citizen policy. So, say someone's born, their parents are Afghanistani, they've been here for years. They're born in England. It's a young girl who's been born here, so she has dual citizenship of Afghanistan and England. Do you think she should be allowed in the country?
She'd be a UK citizen. That's fine.
Well, that would be a dual citizen, so she'd also be an Afghanistani citizen.
She would have it. You're being silly.
Well, no, I think saying that anyone with Afghani citizenship shouldn't be allowed in the UK is a stupid and racist thing to say. I think it's just brain dead to say.
Mate, why are you
saying that anyone with a certain citizenship should not be allowed in this country is racist and moronic.
I'm going to stop speaking to you. I'm going to speak to the audience. Everyone knows here that there are cultural tensions which are bubbling over in this country. You feel it, you know it, and you hear people on the left who start to play silly word games and start to gaslight you. Don't listen to them. Don't pay attention to them.
Well, those girls,
don't pay attention.
So a dual citizenship. So if you've got dual citizenship, you're allowed.
Let's give
Tre.
Listen. I'm just going to speak for myself. I think from a fair, compassionate society, which we say we are, that makes no sense that people who helped. And it wasn't them that risked it. It was the MOD that risked it. They should not be there left languishing. And they shouldn't be just. They shouldn't be left to. They shouldn't even go to a third party because it wasn't a third party government that caused it.
I'm going to wrap up here because I think this is the reason why this debate is so difficult, because I think you're right. This is quite complex.
That's extreme.
And I was talking about these two programs, and this is where we really need to get into the nuance of it. And we haven't got a lot of time left, so I'm going to tell you what the two programs are, and you should do your research at home as well. You can just Google it. It's the ARAP, which is the Afghan Relocations and Assistance Policy. That that provided relocation to Afghan citizens who worked with UK forces, who are closed. The new applications closed on July the 2nd, 2025. That relocated 18,000 people. And then there's the ARP, the Afghan Resettlement Programme, an umbrella scheme that was launched in December 2024 that unifies all of those programmes and other Afghan routes into a single resettlement framework, which is still active. So there's quite a lot of nuance here. OK.